Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're so excited to have you again. The Senate is becoming very interesting right now. I don't know what's going on, but from all indication, it's as if there is a battle already on ground between the Northerners and the Southerners, and all of this is happening within APC, though the minority parties are trying to come in. Don't forget that after the announcement of the principal officers by Godswill Akpabio, the national chairman of the party and the national working committee started making unnecessary statement, and it was that they were not informed. And I begin to wonder, when will the legislature in Nigeria be independent, because we suffered a lot in the ninth Senate, but Akpabio didn't even reply them, and they went and met Tinubu. Tinubu said it was okay. The decision taken by the Senate was outrightly right. Now, after all of that had happened, a new event is ongoing, because right now the old guys are now thrown under the carpet. Their motions are no more respected. Godswill Akpabio has started showing that he is the boss. Ndume himself, who is the chief whip, don't forget that Ndume was supposed to be the majority leader, but unfortunately it didn't happen that way. Ogbeyemi was now given that position, and there had been a lot of issues surrounding that. Now, Ndume launch out a motion which you're going to hear in full details, and you'll be seeing how Akpabio was kind of shutting him down. Oh my God, it's not interesting, or it's not good enough for the eyes, but this is really what we want, because the right thing must be done. Let me give you full details of what happened. Tempers flared yesterday on the floor of the Senate as lawmakers in the camp of the Senate President Godswill Akpabio clashed over a step-down motion bordering on the disbursement of 500 billion loan. The crisis pit lawmakers that benefited from the recent announcement of principal officers by Akpabio against the losers. On Tuesday, Akpabio had released the list of principal officers, with former governor of Sokoto State Aminu Waziri Tambuwa and the former leader of the Senate Ali Ndume failing to clinch the two most coveted positions in the upper legislative chamber. Contrary to expectation, Ekiti Senator Bamidele Ogbeyemi was named majority leader ahead of Ndume, who served as Akpabio's campaign director for Senate presidency, while Tambuwa lost out to Plateau North Senator Simon Wawong, who was announced as minority leader. At plenary yesterday, the bad blood generated by the development became obvious when Ndume got up to read the content of his motion, which had been captured in the other paper titled Uneven Disbursement of Half a Trillion Naira Loan to 6 Geopolitical Zones by the Development Bank of Nigeria. While attempting to establish certain facts about the same motion he sponsored in the ninth Senate, Akpabio stepped in and stopped him. Infuriated, Ndume tried, but without success, to explain issues surrounding the motion in the ninth Senate. Instead, Solomon Adiola, who had been primed to head the Senate Committee on Appropriation, stepped in. Adiola told the Senate that Sani Musa headed the ad hoc committee in the ninth Senate and should be allowed to talk. He was permitted by Akpabio. While explaining his role in the saga, Musa accused Ndume of deliberately misleading the Senate, insisting that the final report was signed by Ndume and therefore he can't feign ignorance of what transpired. Therefore, Akpabio, without further recourse to Ndume, ruled and suspended the consideration of the motion already captured in the day's ordered paper. An attempt by Ndume to reintroduce the motion was frustrated by Akpabio. Aliyu Wadada, a member of Social Democratic Party (SDP) from Nasarawa State, protested and insisted on debating the motion again. Akpabio ruled him out of order and refused to allow any debate on the issue. An angry Ndume, unwilling to let go, lampooned Musa and accused him of peddling falsehood. Ndume said as an experienced senator, it was wrong for him to have been accused unfairly, and insisted that the issue in the motion were too germane to be ignored. Again, Akpabio refused to allow a debate on the motion. The issues were still pending when the deputy leader of the Senate, David Umahi, who stepped in for the Senate leader, Bamidele, moved to the next item in the order paper. According to the suspended motion, ndume claimed that the annual integrated statutory report of the Development Bank obtained in July 2022 revealed that 483 billion naira was disbursed, but only 11% went to the entire 19 northern states, while only Lagos State got 47% of the entire funds. Ndume in the suspended motion said out of the funds, SWest got a lion's share of 57%, which is estimated to be 274 billion naira. The South got 17%, which is estimated to be 81 billion naira. FCT and North Central got 11%, which is 53 billion naira, while the Southeast got a paltry 9%, which is 43 billion naira. Northwest got 5%, which is 24 billion naira, and the Northeast got only 1%, which is 4 billion naira. Ndume had suggested that the Senate set up an ad hoc committee to carry out a holistic investigation into the matter and report back in 4 weeks for further legislative action. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday met with the chairman of the All Progressive Congress (APC), Abdullahi Adamu, and the party secretary, Dr. Iyala Omosore, of the presidential at the presidential villa Abuja. The Adamu and Omisore arrived at Aso Rock a few minutes before 5 p.m. and were ushered into the president's office shortly afterward. But they left the seat of power without speaking to press. However, credible sources said the visit was not connected with the number over the selection of principal officers. It don't happen. Things have started happening. Now, this scenario, what I'm trying to perceive here is that it's like the South is trying to let these guys understand now that we are the boss. I'm serious. Guess what? What Ndume wanted to do, calling for an investigation into that 500 billion naira loan, which was, for me, unfairly distributed, was because huge amount of it was going to the Southwest. Southwest, as at that time, got a huge chunk of that particular loan, which Ndume felt that most people may have influenced it for it to be the way it is. And you know that if Lagos has eaten a chunk of that particular loan, and Akpabio allowed the whole thing to be unveiled in front of both the old and the new senator, wahala go burst, because some people will say that they have been marginalized. Some would say that their own regions have been played down on. Imagine a place like South or Northeast, what happened, Northeast and Southeast. These guys are really suffering, and that's why Ndume did not want to hold back. He wanted an investigation to be carried out, and why, and clearly should be stated, the reason why Lagos State should have such a lion's share. Does it mean that they are better than other states? Yes, we know that the population of Lagos State may be higher, blah, 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 blah. But for them to have such a heavy chunk was a shock. How can they have 57%? Southwest, it said, according to the info, that Southwest got a heavy chunk of 57%. Them alone. Southwest. How big is Southwest? But they had 57%, which is about 274 billion naira. The South had 17%, which is 81 billion naira. FCT and just North Central got 11%, while the Southeast, the Northeast, and also the Northwest, if you put all all that was given to them, it amounted to as little as 15%, while Southwest alone as a region had 57%. There is no one that wouldn't have questioned it, but Akpabio had to step in and stop everything that would have warranted an investigation into it. Now, these are some of the things that, if not properly managed, it may frustrate Bola Ahmed Tinubu's re-election into the office of presidency if he survives, this presidential election petition tribunal. If he survives it and come out clean and is allowed to rule for the next 4 years, if things like this are not looked into, automatically the northerners, hearing how they are being marginalized in terms of sharing ratio when it comes to money, may jump to conclusion and may refuse to allow power to go into his hands again. But he's a good politician. Let's watch out to see what will keep happening, even as the new Senate president has begun showing his strength in the Senate. Let's meet in